Hi, are you at the beginning of your journey in building your own business? And do you find yourself sometimes struggling to know what the next step is? I want to share with you in this video one of the biggest tips that I can give you when starting out on anything new. And it is about getting help. And it might seem like the easiest tip in the world to give, but I'm amazed at the number of people that I work with that find themselves getting to a place of stuckness. And when we unpick what the problem is, it tends to really boil down to the fact that they've got to a place where they didn't know what the next step was, but they felt it was the wrong thing to reach out and get some help. I'll tell you a secret. You're not meant to know everything. This isn't what life's about. I don't think we ever get to the point where we know everything at all. No one, not even an expert, knows everything. But the thing that you can do is you can reach out and speak to somebody who knows more about a subject than you do. And this is what getting help's really about. So what I'd ask is try and think of something that you've struggled with, something that you've not managed to get to what you wanted. If I use the example of social media, as this seems to come up a lot with people that I talk to, there's so many different places that you can go to get support. And I guess the first step that you need is just to identify what it is that you're having a problem with. So saying something like social media, it's too big, it's too broad. And we really need to narrow it down to find out what is it that you're having a problem with, and then you can get the help that you need to move forward. So sticking with my social media theme, I guess the first thing that I would ask you to have a look at is, well, which platform is it that you want to work with? And you may have a good idea, or you may have no idea. That's a starting point. So if you have no idea, then the help that you need is to find out which social media platform you want to focus on. If you've got a good idea, great. Narrow it down to that one platform that you want to get really good at, and then let's dig deeper into that. So how do we get you some help and support? Number one place I would recommend that you go, your best friend, Google, and literally type what you're thinking in there. So in that previous example where I said, like, how do I know which social media platform to focus on? Type that into Google. You don't need a fancy question. You don't need to know which place to go. You just need to type your question in there and Google will come back with loads of resources to help you. If you're more of a visual person, then go to YouTube and do exactly the same thing. Just type in the question, what's the best social media platform for a beginner maybe, and see what comes up. Don't just go with the first answer either. Have a look at a number of the different answers that come up and see which one speaks to you the best. The other thing is, go and talk to a friend or an expert on the particular topic. So if you've got a friend that you know is doing really well on social media, pick up the phone and have a chat with them. They will be only too happy to help you. And finally, good old-fashioned books. I love a book. I'm always recommending different books to read, and there are so many books on the topic of social media that you could find if that was the thing that you were looking for. I guess the key to success in getting help is to really understand what it is that your goal is. Really, really narrow that down. So again, keeping to the example I'm using of social media, we really need to narrow that down of like, what is it that you're trying to do? Do you want to be able to use it to make friends? Do you want to be able to use it to grow your business? What is it that you're looking for? And really get specific on that. I promise you, if you reach out to somebody for some help, they're not too busy, because that's the other excuse that I hear all the time. Oh, I didn't want to bother you because I thought you'd be too busy. And what I often say back to people is, don't make that decision for me. If I'm too busy, I'll let you know that this afternoon's not a good time, but I'll also let you know when it is a good time that I'd be able to help. So try not to make decisions for people on whether they are in a good position to help you. And just to kind of finish off with one of the biggest things that I would say, if you're looking for help, whether it's going to be on a search engine, whether it's from a friend, whether it's from somebody you're paying for some help, get really specific on what it is that you're wanting to do. So perhaps find the answer to that question of which social media platform is going to be right for me. Have a little explore by yourself and make some notes on what are the things that you're struggling with. It's not really useful if somebody approaches me for some help on something and it's like, what do you need help with? Facebook. Okay, what on Facebook? Oh, just Facebook. And it's like, not a great starting point to be able to actually give you something that's useful. So your job when you're looking for some help is to get really, really specific about what you want help with. So I kind of get the gist of how Facebook works, but I never know what to post. How often should I post? What should my post look like? Should I do videos? This is getting really specific rather than just that big umbrella, and you can apply that to any topic. So please, if you're getting started on anything, get the help that you deserve to be a success. Don't use "I don't know" as an excuse not to move yourself forward. Get some help, figure out from Google how to narrow down the help that you need, and go and speak to somebody who's already doing what you want to do and see what advice they can share with you. Good luck.